guys, good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up? Uh, I'm here with Daksh. Welcome everyone back to the channel. I'm just checking if everything's okay. Just give me a second. Seems okay.
Mhm.
Someone's going to tell me if it's not. Anyway, yeah, StreamYard has been giving me issues recently. That's why I normally just do it elsewhere.
Mm,
But I thought this would be a much easier setup for us today, first time. So,
fair enough.
welcome to the channel, guys. And Sports Nathan, and welcome Daksh to our channel. My first collab with an Arsenal fan. I know people are going to, somebody is going to remind me about how much I don't like Arsenal, but in absolute fairness to myself for once, um, I've been listening to Daksh talk about things that are not related to football, and I found it very interesting. And I said, okay, I'll ask. He said yes. He was kind enough to say yes, so that's fantastic. So Daksh, good evening. Welcome to the channel. How's everything going? Do let us
All
know.
good. Yeah, all good. Nice to be here. Nice to be here for the first time and make my debut here. Of course, thank you for the kind words about what I talk. I think I spout absolute nonsense, but I'm glad you found it nice. Great to meet everyone, man. Everyone in the chat. Hello, welcome. To a great stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I disagree with you. I think you're being very harsh to yourself. I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say it's nonsense, but I would say it's what the people ask you and you answer and
Mm,
you create a little family around, and that's how they grow. It's like a lot of my neutral matches when I do watch alongs, I
mm,
sit and I chat and I just like watch the game, but I'm actually like reading the comments and we're
mm,
bouncing back and forth. But like for the United game, I'm like this, like guys, hold on. Till halftime, like please, we'll do this how many ever streams you want, but for the United stream, please, like please just
mm.
give me a break. Just give me a break.
Yeah, I
Like
can imagine.
yeah, so I totally I related to that what you did, and
Hmm.
I found that it's nicer that way. I feel like you create a more lasting feeling with
Mm,
your subscribers. They they can relate to you. It's,
mm,
I don't know, I find that awesome, and I think that's what we do, you do, I do. I
mm,
think that's what Jayant and Suraj do, and I think that's why we all
mm.
happily come along on each other's platforms particularly. So
Mhm.
I'm looking at some score lines, and like I told you earlier, I'm not liking it. So I'm just going to skip past the score lines. Unfortunately, it's stuck on that screen, so I have no choice but to look at it.
Yeah.
Gaurav's here. Congratulate. Thank you, Gaurav. No, but you should congratulate Daksh because he was kind enough to give me his time. Actually, congratulations are not in order for me. It's more a thank you for him. But the Indian Scouser, Volk Islam, Indian Scouser, you're gonna have to tune in. I might be doing a collab with someone else for MMA. I appreciate that, but I don't want to. I don't know if Daksh watches MMA, so I don't want to.
I don't follow it religiously, man. I
Yeah,
just
no. So I don't want to overwhelm
yeah.
you with my thoughts because we are. I think we are pretty right. We are riding high on the football right now,
Oh yeah.
particularly for both our clubs. So I think we'll keep it for football.
Mm-hmm.
I will set up a stream for MMA. If
Mm,
Daksh wants to participate, he's more than welcome later on
mm,
at a different time. Sometime this week, there is a big fight card next Sunday. So
mhm.
Daksh, I guess
Yes,
we'll start off with the most important question. I'm sure
sure.
you've heard this already, but let's just do it one more time. I think you already know what it is. So, is Arsenal winning the league? Come on, let's hear it.
Oh man, I think it's the best time to win it. I think everything is sort of aligning in our favor. Getting smart signings in, being 50 points after half a season. City not looking their usual City, but then they just need to turn up. To be honest, and I just think it's a culmination of a lot of things where every team is not performing to their peak, or something or the others happening. Chelsea in a clear transition period, Liverpool having injuries left, right, and center, City looking vulnerable, Newcastle playing party spoilers, and United, despite now a resurgence, started the season pretty slow. So, the main factors, the main competitors, everything is sort of aligning. The stars are aligning, as you say, for Arsenal to pretty much get it. But let's be honest, yeah. In 19 games, we have 50 points here. There's another 19 to go, and we might just end up in 25 points in 19 games. You just never really know with football how it really turns out. But I think for us, it's just the best time to win it. It's not impossible to win it next season or the season after that. It's just going to be so much harder. So I think right now it's just about taking our opportunities, man.
Yeah, I'd agree. I okay, so I'll give full disclosure here because then it'll sound like I'm saying something else because you're here. I still think City can win it, and
Mm.
my I don't know how to put it other than this way. It's because y'all haven't played any City games yet, and I
Mm.
think the FA Cup game is after seeing the FA Cup game, you're going, can they somehow bottle? I don't
Mm.
think it's fair to say bottle it because I feel like
Yep.
everyone thinks City is going to make a heavy run towards the end.
Yep. Yep.
Every time people use the word bottle it, we'll get to
Mm.
that. There is a team that bottles it. We will get to that. I'm sure Daksh will be very happy about that because I read one of his posts about losing subscribers recently. So I think we'll rain on their parade a little later,
Sure.
some more
Sure.
just for fun. But yeah, I think City has a resurgence, but this Cancelo loan move is making me think now.
Mm.
You know what? If Bernardo doesn't want to be there, Cancelo doesn't want to be there, eventually
Mm.
someone's going to get fed up of playing these games and
Mm.
not show up to the games. And I don't think City can really afford it to be Arsenal games. I think if you'll get I think you'll even if you'll split the results
Yeah.
each in one in your favor each. I think you'll win it, and that's what I said. I said City have to take 4 points from the six, otherwise it's game
Mm.
over. And I
Mm.
don't know how you feel about that. I mean, you're saying the time is right now, but quite honestly, moving coming into this league this season, when I was on TCSP, we did a where does everyone think they're going to finish? Everyone
Mm.
thought United's not going to finish top four, which I will get to that at the end of the season. I'm never one of those people who celebrate way in advance. So,
Mm.
but what we all did agree upon was Arsenal will finish top four this season somewhere,
Mm.
somewhere on the rankings.
Mm.
So much so where we even picked Gabriel Jesus to be like one of the top three
Mm.
scorers of the league. We all thought Arsenal is gonna soar up this
Yeah.
season one way or the other.
Mm.
So I don't know if the stars are aligning, man. I just think y'all are a good team. It's been a long time. It's been
Mm.
a long time
Agreed.
since, whatever's happened. I
Mm.
know people like, oh, they've not won it in 19 years. I'm like, dude, Liverpool's not won it in 30. Just like, just Man City wasn't in the league 30 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
just stop. Just cut it out. Like, there's no need for that. And
Mm.
I think the City games are very crucial to this. I don't think
Mm.
Arsenal are going to drop so much so of a lead apart from the City games. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, all right, here's my take on the City games. I think if we win one of them, ideally both, but if we win one of them, winning the City games can win us the title. Losing the City games might not necessarily mean we lose it. Now, of course, there are always these sort of banana skins along the season, both in the league and in the cup competition. I mean, nobody expected Southampton to beat Man City in the Carabao Cup, right? Um, so these things kind of happen.
Although historically speaking, the last couple of seasons, I believe they dragged them 1-1 in the first game of last season, their first
Yeah,
fixture.
yeah,
It looked like they were going to win the game. City pulled the goal
yeah,
back to draw. I mean, like Southampton,
exactly.
every now and then they just show up and then they lose 9-0. It's like I don't know whatever they feel like doing, depending on who's the coach and stuff.
Yeah, and that happens with us as well. Like, for example, Everton. Last season, Everton had not won like 13 games or something in a row. And then they played us, they beat us, and then they lost another six in a row. It's pretty much half a season they lost, except one W, which was against Arsenal. So you have these sort of bogey teams that can come up and ruin your parade, which is why I think um, there is a lot which hinges on the City games in the fact that if we win one of them, both, we will win the title. But losing them, um, it is a little perilous, but I won't say it's the end of the road. Like I said, there are only think one or two teams that can do the double over us. One is City, of course, and I think the second one is maybe Everton, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty much we've beaten every team
Yeah.
in the league this season except Man United, and then we beat
Yeah, I
United.
think we were in line
Fortnight
to
ago.
do the first double against y'all first because
Yep,
I think every team that y'all played either y'all drew or beat.
yep, yep, exactly.
So it was looking good until it wasn't looking good.
It
Let's
wasn't
just put it
looking good.
that way. I mean,
So
Eddie and Ketia, like this guy got loaned back from Leeds because Bielsa wanted to play Bamford, which was a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
coming into their promotion season because
Yeah.
Patrick Bamford had a fantastic first season.
Mm.
But then, like, then you're like, yeah, no Lacazette, no Aubameyang. I'm like, what is this guy gonna do? Then go to see you all splash a lot of money for Jesus. I'm like, oh, come on. You're like, no. And then Jesus get injured, and then you're like, is there a chance? Is there a chance? You're like
Will they
just thinking to
crumble
yourself,
now? Will they
what's gonna
crumble?
happen now? And like,
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's the season, right? There have been so many points of doubt for Arsenal in the beginning of the season. Oh, you haven't played any top six teams. And then the second we play a top six team called Manchester United, we lose. We told Arsenal it's time for them to crumble. And then we don't lose games and on. And then it was, well, the World Cup's going to disrupt their momentum. It's the worst time for the World Cup to come. And then you come back, and then Gabriel Jesus get injured. We knew it. They're without their star striker. What they're gonna do? Eddie and Ketia, and including me, to be honest, I'm not gonna. Uh,
yeah, no, same here. I didn't
I
expect
was
it from him too.
I
It's
was
like,
saying that you cannot win the title with Eddie and Ketia leading the line, but then look at him proving everybody wrong, including me.
yeah,
And now Gabriel Jesus is back on the field, and to be honest, we never really missed Gabriel Jesus during this entire run. Of course,
yeah.
Eddie gets a little tired
I
physically,
mean,
but that's
a lot of that would you credit to Bukayo Saka's absolute flaming hot form, Martin Odegaard scoring more goals than
yeah.
last season. I
I think
mean,
you could, yeah.
congratulations, player of the month last
Yeah.
month, this month, Rashford, obviously. I
Yep.
mean, it seems like Arsenal United.
Mm.
In the headline in the topic, it's saying resurgence of our teams, but in many ways,
Mm.
it is a resurgence of our teams. It's
Yeah.
I think no one would be surprised. I think a lot of people would be surprised if I would say we are one
Mm.
and three 2 years ago. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people wouldn't agree, and
True.
I think it is a resurgence. And I think
Mm.
it's a lot of teamwork is happening, but it's based on certain players raising the game, like a Rashford, like an Odegaard,
Mm.
like a Saka, even an Nketiah in his own way. I suppose
True.
Nketiah more than most because no one expected his ceiling to maybe be that explosive, I
Mm.
suppose. And for one, I'm very shocked by Eddie and Ketia. I completely agree with you. And
Well, there was eyebrows raised. Well, first of all, let's look at the history of Eddie Nketiah. He is the record goal scorer for England's under 19s, um, more than I think Alan Shearer, if I'm not mistaken, for the England under 19s. And then, so he was outrightly the highest scorer. Then eyebrows were raised when he was given the number 14 shirt and a 100K contract. People thinking that, it's time to move on from Eddie, probably get somebody who's a good backup striker. But then that didn't happen. And of course, it's what's been the theme is that the club takes unpopular decisions, unpopular in the sense they're not really popular with the fans, and the fans don't really get it on the face value of it. But it's very evident that there is a plan, and as common sense and logic should dictate, they are more privy to information than we are, so they see Eddie more than we do. We saw Eddie for maybe 10 minutes a game when Aubameyang and Lacazette were there, and it was only Kiar. It was only to the point when Lacazette was not able to carry the team that Eddie was introduced, and that he had a run of games. But then we still floundered. So the sour taste of Eddie and Ketia not leading us to the promised land, it remained. But you saw him get a new contract, and like, what the hell is happening? We are not an ambitious club. But the club, of course, knows more than random people sitting on Twitter or on YouTube. So credit to him. And when you talk about the resurgence, man, I think you're right about the fact that we haven't missed Jesus because of the distribution of the goals among our forwards. But that's something you could see with the Jesus itself. Jesus is not known for his prolific goal scoring record at
prolific
Arsenal
goal
for sure,
scorer.
but it's about the build up, the fluidity, and everything. And credit to Mikel, man. He's transformed Odegaard into a pass first number 10 to a shooting first number 10 now. Saka, of course, carrying the team. Martinelli pitching in here and there. And now we've reinforced these positions with Trossard, who can fill a couple of positions, with Jorginho, who I wasn't really on board initially, but now I am a little bit more rationalizing
Yeah,
it.
I know. I was like, oh, you're going to have to eat that one. I saw
Yeah.
the tweet. I was like, oh no. Can you imagine if he scores on debut? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that didn't
Well,
age very well.
it is the life of a fan. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
you're
You have to
chasing.
react
Yeah.
at that moment. Otherwise, it's like, you're just jumping on the bandwagon when everyone goes,
Oh
I
yeah.
told you so.
And I think as an Arsenal fan, it's very important to remember, it's fine to be in the emotion for the moment. But it's been our mantra for the last 3 years, and I think it's what United are also going to do for the next couple of years, is just trust the process. There will be times like you see so many similarities. In the first 6 months, Arteta won the FA Cup. Ten Hag's on course to win. He's in a final himself against Newcastle, who will obviously be as hungry. Um, so a trophy on cards for United for Ten Hag in the first 6 months. There will be ups and downs. There will be difficult moments, um, which are completely out of your control. For Arteta, it was COVID, a lot of injuries, all of those things, and you would have calls for what is Eric Ten Hag doing. Sometimes you might not understand. What I think United will do maybe a little better is they have a constant revenue stream which allows them to compete for big signings. For us, we had maybe 150 million signing a season, and that was it. And then it was all about just picking up bargains everywhere else. Whereas United, they can go probably spend 100 million on the summer, then a
Well, we
couple of
can't now because we got Vegost instead of João Felix. So
yeah.
technically, everyone can outspend us in January for
But
some
I think
reason.
no. I think if it comes up to it, like let's say United finish top four, and I think they will. Um, you can compete for signings like Declan Rice. You can compete for signings like Jude Bellingham. You can compete for other top prospects. I mean, talks of 90 or 100 million Victor Osimhen signings. You never really know
So,
because all of those things. Plus your ownership. Well, today it came out that the Glazers want to still retain control, but the stale is still. So it's a lot of things, a lot of variables which you don't really know. But I think there are similarities between United and Arsenal's process, but I think United's process is going to be a little more accelerated due to the availability of funds. So yeah.
yeah, also, I would agree with that. But the Murto said that I don't know if you read the thing where they recorded him in the bar while he was treating some of the
Yeah.
fans to beers, which in of itself seems very embarrassing for an executive to be caught in that position to begin with. But
Mm,
he actually said, "Don't be surprised if there's less funds depending on what happens to us during this season." That was one of the sentences he said. That's why
mm,
supposedly we have the funds this season, but we
mm,
might not have the funds next season. And as worrisome as that sounds, even if Ten Hag can get a tune out of our current players,
mm,
I think even if we have 1-2 signings, it's basically placeholders. It seems like they'll just be placeholders maybe for another season because Rashford, Fred, De
mm,
Gea, think Tallow, think Luke
mm,
Shaw, they all either are going to into their last year or their contract runs
mm,
out with an option to extend.
mm,
So we have a bunch of players where we have to decide whether we want them or not based on what we actually can buy at the end of the season, which is a
mm,
little frightening because based on what he said, we might not have as much anyway.
mm,
Now, we will get on to Chelsea. I do want to talk about the Arsenal and United games first,
mm. Okay.
but Chelsea is playing in a couple of hours, and
Mm,
I don't even want to know what their starting lineup's going to be because it's really going to probably annoy me for 5 minutes. I'm very happy for the Chelsea fans because
mm,
I think it's nice to know that they got owners that basically are like their previous, where they are willing to go for excellence no matter what.
mm, mm.
They don't really care how it looks. I don't know if you
True.
read Klopp's statement today about
Something
Chelsea spending.
about
I'm like, dude,
yeah,
pitch dry,
yeah.
pitch wet. I need my lawyer. I'm like, sound bites. Thank you for the sound bites, Jürgen, for many seasons. Um,
Mm.
so today I think Modric's gonna start. I think Modric's gonna
100%.
tear Fulham a new one. I
Mm,
have such a bad feeling about this game. And then
mm.
next week, I think they play. I don't know who they play next week. Is West Ham? I think Felix and Modric. I think West Ham are going to get battered.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get battered again one more week. So I'm very happy for Chelsea. But when I look at
Mm,
them, even when I look at you, even when I look at Liverpool, it's like they had 30 million, and then Liverpool fans are like, "Where's the reinforcements?" I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? This team was good enough for you to finish second last year. This year
mm,
you need reinforcements.
mm,
And they were like, you shouldn't talk. You all spend 200 million. I'm like, dude, look at our bench every week. There are
mm,
four kids, four defenders, and Fred on the bench. You're
mm,
talking about our starting 11. We're not talking about a starting 11. We're talking about a team. Okay. We
mm,
have, what is Manchester
mm,
United in Premier League 2, the under 23 division? What are we, third in the league? Yeah, we could bring all the under 23 kids into the team. That's not the point. The point is we
mm.
don't have players for now.
Yeah.
And people are like,
Mm,
but you spent 200 million. I'm like, you all don't know the backstory. Anthony, for example, told the owners of Ajax,
Hmm.
I want to go in June.
Hmm.
Okay, they said yes. They said
Hmm.
if you get 50, we'll send you.
Yeah.
Ajax started hemorrhaging players. We
Hmm.
started doing our usual dilly dally. Will we go? Will we not go? You know the whole thing until it was September basically.
Hmm.
80 million. Everyone's like, ha ha, you paid 80 million. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Hmm.
That's not how it works. We didn't pay
Yeah.
80 million for him. We paid 80 million for the
Yeah.
fact that we didn't do it in time. Same
Hmm.
for Martinez.
Yeah.
Same for, okay, maybe not Casemiro. I think Casemiro, that's what we were going to pay for no matter what. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a bargain. It's a bargain for me personally. But the
Hmm.
Ajax players, people don't get it. They were hemorrhaging players left, right, free
Yeah.
agents, Mazraoui, Gravenberch. Like, what are they supposed to do? They're struggling in the league now because
Hmm.
they've just all the
Sold
players have
pretty
just
much
gone to hell.
everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people don't understand that they have to do something for all
Hmm.
the players they're losing, and the only thing you can do is charge more. Example, Benfica.
Yeah.
Let's not even go far. We can go 3 days ago. Benfica.
Hmm. True.
So that's what I was trying to explain to you. And you're like,
Hmm.
look at our squads. We don't have squads. I'm like, dude, I agree. You all don't have a squad, but that doesn't mean that we have one. Like, we also don't have a squad. Like, everyone's like, Virgil van
Hmm.
Dijk's injured. I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah.
Konate is always injured and Joe Gomez is always injured. Now it's only Van Dijk's injured. So it's like, like, what are we supposed to do? It's like our
Hmm.
injuries are not your injuries, but we are still short of
Hmm.
players.
I think
And like I
Liverpool.
saw I
Yeah.
saw Arsenal bench too for our game. I'm like, there's nobody on this bench. Sambi Lokonga, I'm like, finally someone figured out that's a flop. I'm like, I'm very happy. Arteta just went like, yeah, thank you, sir. Go back to the Belgium league or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like Fabio Vieira, he scored a blinder in the opening scene. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, oh no, this is going to be a problem.
He's
I was
gonna
like,
be
oh
fine. He's
no.
gonna be fine. It's gonna
I
take a
think
while,
he's
but
going
I
to be
think he's gonna
fine.
be
I
fine.
think he's going to be fine because
Yeah.
his base level at the Portuguese league is better than the Belgian league. So I'm not as worried for him. But
Hmm.
then I thought to myself, if you look at that bench again, it's like, what is Arteta supposed to do if anyone's injured? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, Arsenal's top of the league. I'm like, okay, that's great. But what's he supposed to do if someone's injured?
Yeah.
And I was
True.
like, people don't understand that we don't have the squads. Like it's like they just look at the first 11, the money we spent
Yeah.
for the first 11, and there's no
Hmm.
backup. So what are your takes on that? Are you okay with the squad depth? I doubt you would be, but I'd rather
Hmm.
hear it from you.
Now I am. I mean, I think now it's come to a point where I am a little satisfied. Like I've said on other streams, the floor of the squad has been raised pretty much. The drop from Partey to Sambi and Martinelli to whoever might be playing instead. Hey man, yes, there is a stream. It
There,
will be
there is a
scheduled
there
to
is a
go.
stream after this, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes, there is
I'll
to
I'll
answer your
I'll
question.
schedule it.
Sorry,
Don't worry.
sorry, Daksh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no problem, no problem. So the fall off from the first team players to the bench players, as you just rightly pointed out. I mean, in the games leading up to the United game, the only changes we made were Tomiyasu coming on and Tierney coming on. So we just brought on fullbacks and we played those fullbacks in advanced positions. So it showed. I mean, I don't know if it was like signaling from Arteta to the board that listen, this is the players I have. Um, and somehow we've managed to make it through to half of a season top of the table where injuries have not royally fucked us. I mean, you had Jesus injured, of course, that's a big loss. You have Smith Rowe injured, which is a big loss in depth as well. But somehow the first 11 stayed fit. But that is more to do with luck than any sort of physical management or load management. um
You have to give credit to the medical staff. I'm sure they are working overtime. I'm sure
100%, a hundred
I'm
percent
sure both our squads and our medical staff are very well aware that there is literally nothing after the. It's so funny you
Mm,
said that because your squad as well is like four defenders
mm.
and a midfielder, and then there's more kids. It's like almost the same kind of squad, but in a different way. It's
Yeah.
like you have the same number of really good defenders sitting on your bench,
Mm,
like a couple of kids, a goalkeeper you'll never see, and a
mm.
midfielder that you can swap on in case something happens. And it's like
Yeah,
and
it
like
it
people are
was
like, oh, you people are crying too much. I'm like, bro, like, did
mm.
you see what happened to Ericsson? I was like, oh. I was like, no,
And that's literally
McTominay.
all it takes, right? It's just one game, one rash tackle from a player. And that game United had pretty much wrapped up as well, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
Andy Carroll's an absolute dickhead. Like
yeah,
I don't care if, like, seriously, what, this is championship level tackling, by the way. That's where he
yeah,
belongs.
hundred
Sorry,
percent.
Liverpool fans.
No, 100%. And that's like I was saying, that's all it really takes is just one errant tackle, one strong challenge, somebody booting you by accident, somebody slipping on the grass and just stamping on your Achilles, and you're done for the season. And you can't really, you have to plan for these eventualities. And that's what we did, I think, in the January transfer window. Yes, we didn't get Mudrik, disappointing. We didn't get Caicedo, disappointing. But I
Aren't you a
think,
little happy with how much money you have saved though? Like you could go like on the re-up, like if West Ham somehow do get knocked out, you Rice I'm sure is a it
mm,
should be, at least in my opinion, a discount deal after that. Because there's
mm.
no way they're gonna go, oh, he's worth 100 million in the championship. Like, dude, you know what? Sit your ass in the championship, dude. Enjoy that club. Like
Well,
he's not worth 100 million. You all haven't done anything the whole season. You can't be
I think,
worth 100 million.
yeah, it's true, but I don't know if West Ham will get relegated. Even if they do, I don't know, man. Look, I think Rice has been a great servant to West Ham. He has pretty much performed admirably for them, and I'm sure there is some sort of a gentleman's agreement about letting him go. Where he chooses to go is another question. Now, you're right about the fact that yes, there is money saved, but it's one of those things, like you talk about games in hand. Yeah, there's a game in hand, and there is potential to capitalize on a points advantage. But I'm one of those people who is like a bird in the hand's worth two in the bush, in the sense that we would, if we had gotten our targets in January, then you don't have to, guess that, yeah, Rice might come. You never really know. Let's say Chelsea have an absolute howler of a season, and then Todd Bowley whips out his checkbook again, slams it on West Ham's executive board, and says, "Give me Declan Rice as well." You never really know, right? Or Declan
I
Rice.
did that. It's so funny you said that. I did that. I did that. So Mohawk, who I would love to
Yeah.
get on one day as well, because of
Yeah.
course United fan. But I saw a tweet of his, right, and he's like, "You might get some." It's I'm like, and I like retweeted. I replied to his tweet. I'm like, Todd Bowley, please don't mind us. Thank you." I was like, dude, I was like, come on, yeah, not
Yeah.
again. Like seriously.
No, so, and there could be so many other things. Rice might have a huge dip in form. Rice might get injured, and then he's not a viable target anymore. So plenty of things can happen. So I am somebody who believes that if you can get your primary targets in a window, just get them in. This is, again, money saved is good. Now what do we do with that saved money? You don't want to just stay with all that money saved up and then somebody still gazumping you. So Rice is a very good target as of now. Caicedo will probably be available for much less than Brighton were asking in January as well. So those are two prospects we can get and settle our midfield for the next few years. Um, so yeah, but I just think, I mean, the cameo I've seen for Mudrik, and probably I'm going to see him play today as well. If he was in Arteta's hand, man, I can't tell you, I would have been so excited. It's been such a long time. I mean, we have a bunch of players who get your fans out of your seats. Odegaard's a magician with his feet. Saka can absolutely bang them in, as United know. Martinelli's great. Jesus is slick with his feet. And Nketiah pops up
Signed a
in the
new
right.
deal, by the way. Congratulations, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Didn't he
yeah. Of
sign
course, of
earlier
course.
today? 5 year deal.
Yeah, yeah.
So by the time he finishes that 5 year deal, he'll be what, 9 years at the club?
Mm. He has
Pretty
been
good,
here
man.
for, I think, three. We still had 2 more years, so it's
Yeah.
essentially an
Okay.
extension for 1 more year. But it's fine. It's good that we've tightened up. We're paying him the money he definitely, definitely deserves before any other big clubs come sniffing. I mean, Klopp pretty much shamelessly flirts with Martinelli at every press conference. I remember a reporter asking about what his thoughts on the game were, and he gave a pretty good response about, game was good. This was the balance, blah blah blah. And then at the end, for no reason, by the way, Gabriel Martinelli, what a player, what a player. And I'm like, bro, you need to keep your clammy hands away from him. But yeah, for me, it's a good thing. And Mudrik would have been such a fine addition to the beautiful sort of exciting football we're looking to play. And he really, really wanted us. I'm
Yeah, like
telling
people
you.
were like, he's twerking for Arsenal. I'm like, it's not a good look, but then again, Obama Young has a Chelsea tattoo. I mean, an
Yeah.
Arsenal tattoo on
Yeah.
his hand, and he's like playing there. I'm like, and then there are these Arsenal fans who are like, sabotage. Look at
I'm
him. Look
telling
at
you,
him
man.
playing badly. Look at him playing badly at Arsenal,
Oh,
Chelsea. I'm
Devin.
like,
And
I'm like, I think he's past his Premier League date. When Arsenal sold him, I'm like, I think he's
yeah.
done now.
I'm telling you, man, Nathan, it's not gonna happen now, but a few years later, we're gonna find out there has to be something which has happened with this Mudrik transfer. I have never seen a selling director of football showing up to the club he sold the player to, unveiling the player, giving out interviews to every news outlet describing the deal for some reason. This has never happened. It's never happened before. It's never happened since, because Shakhtar have sold other players this window as well. And I haven't seen the director of football going to Athletic and explaining how this deal exactly happened
He
for
was
whatever.
probably happy to get. He didn't show up to United. He was happy to get rid of Fred. I think he was like, "Yeah, thanks."
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, it's a little
No,
stinky,
but
man.
it's this. I don't want to bring it up, but I think it has something to do with a certain country agenda because apparently he was donating a purse to relief aid.
Yeah,
So
man.
I feel like he took advantage of the fact that Chelsea were paying more money because I think he gets his what he wants and then the balance he
That's why
sends.
I'm saying. Like, the director of football very adamant that both clubs are paying the same money, but Chelsea's structure of deal is apparently more
Yeah,
favorable.
yeah.
Fine, okay. It's just so weird because the player wanted to play for Arsenal. It's evident. He was watching comps of him playing for Arsenal in an Arsenal jersey, bro. It was so evident he wanted to come, and we were all waiting for it. And then he posts this Ukraine first Instagram story, and I'm like, bro, it is. But it's now that I keep thinking and talking about it, sounds like I'm salty. But I just really, really wanted him to see. Really wanted
Well, I
to see
mean,
him in an
I
Arsenal
don't think
jersey.
I don't think it's being salty. Yeah, it's like if you're excited, a player was interested coming to you, and then you get the rug pulled out of them.
Hmm.
You would. I mean, I don't know if you feel call it salty, but you'd feel definitely some type of way. Rafinha and
Hmm.
Kunde with Chelsea, like Chelsea fans were like hauling pelters at Barcelona at the beginning of the season, which I thought was fair because even the Leeds
Hmm.
president was like, you made us really look bad because we had a deal in principle with Chelsea, and then you
Hmm.
do this thing and then you make us look bad because we got to deal
True.
with these people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing people don't get about business. It's like if you screw someone or they remember that you screw them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, like, and then they're
Yeah.
like, you want it, pay me
Hmm.
200.
Yeah.
50, it's not 50 for you, it's 200 for you, it's 80 for them. It's that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
I felt really bad because everyone was like, you're just bitter. I'm like, dude, I'm not even a Chelsea fan. It's like principle. Imagine if someone says it's worth $5, you shake your hands for $5, and then he goes $500. You're not going to like it either. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I mean, like, whatever, dude. I'm like, I'm not even a Chelsea fan. Oh, don't be salty. You're just jealous of Barcelona. I'm like, dude, you're in the same league as Arsenal and us. We're on the same league, dude.
Hmm.
Like, what are you on about? We're not jealous of anything you have at the
Yeah.
moment. And I was like, whatever, you're jealous. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jealous. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, I think we got into it. I just wanted to hear where you at with Arsenal in general.
Hmm.
Should we move forward to the game? You want to go to the game first? Should we
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
your
Let's
game
go. Let's go.
first?
Yeah. Sure.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. So Arsenal versus Everton.
Hmm.
Before we get into it, are you happy or not happy that Lampard got sacked? Because I thought I called it he doesn't survive the January transfer window. That was
Oh
my
yeah. Yeah.
call, like before Jan started. So,
Hmm.
what do you think?
I think, seeing how Lampard and Everton have been doing since Boxing Day, I thought that Everton's going to do something smart and sack Lampard before the January window, so a new
Yeah,
manager comes and gets the players he wants and etc. At least you have something to convince the players. Since then, in January, Everton have made zero signings. They were so close to announcing Danjuma, and then Spurs pretty much gazummed them, which is very weird, but
and
it
then he
is what it is.
scores against them, which is even.
Uh,
I felt you felt a little ill, and he did the.
the
I mean,
snake, yeah.
it's actually a theater no theater. I don't know if you've ever seen those clap
Hmm.
movies. Those.
Hmm.
It's like a clap movie, but
Ah,
it's like a
okay,
clap competition. So
gotcha.
I saw it there. One
Okay.
of the teams was a Cobra. So I was like, wait, is he doing that or is he like I didn't get it? And then like I read the backstory. I was like, oh, that's what he was doing. I was like, oh
Uh,
no. I
but
was like,
yeah, I
oh
mean,
no.
but Everton just keep making wrong decision after wrong decision, sacking him midway through January, and then any other potential incomings would not want to enter that shit show. It's such a chaotic scene right now in Everton. And then, of course, with Marcelo Bielsa, when they were approaching him, I thought, fine, they're going for the long-term rebuild again. And Bielsa said that I'll take over under 21s. My team will take up the management of the first team. And I thought, fine, Bielsa is trying to incorporate the Bielsa ball sort of system in the youth and
Earlier.
figuring out, yeah. So, and he probably told Everton to, stomach the fact that you're going to get relegated now, but you'll be back next season. and it'll be better and more sustainable. But I think Sean Dyche probably gave them assurances that, you know what, I'm going to keep you up. You could see it from his first interview. He believes there is quality in the squad. He just has to make it shine. I am sort of okay with the fact that Deitch is here. And yes, there is new manager bounce and all that shamaz. But I think the fact that Everton haven't strengthened, and I think the fact that Deitch will probably use this game to figure out who's his, best
I
11.
mean, he's got some former Burnley players there. He's got his
Yeah,
skipper
Dwight
James
McNeil.
Tarkowski. He's got Dwight McNeil.
Yeah,
He has some semblance of how English football plays due to
yeah,
playing lower league football in particular.
true.
I think it's a very exciting signing. He was one of the top two picks. I thought they were going to go
Mm,
either Big Sam or Sean Dyche because I couldn't really
mm,
think of an English manager that would be prime and ready to take this emergency job. They normally do go to
mm.
Big Sam. And I
Yeah.
was like, I think Big Sam's done, dude. I was like, Neil, what's it? Neil Warnock. I'm like, Neil Warnock said he doesn't want to coach in the Premier League anymore. Like, I
Yeah.
feel bad for him. The way he even explained it, he was like, dude, I'm way too old for this, man. It's too
Mm,
much stress compared to the championship. Even though we
yeah.
technically play more games in the championship, it is just,
The
the less
spotlight
media,
isn't
the
that
less
bright. And
stress.
you see it, you see Steve Bruce as well, right? I mean, good football player and probably a very mediocre manager at best. But the kind of harassment he got from the Newcastle fans, the God, who else did he manage? Hull City when he was managing here. Thanks so much, Arajit.
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham. So I just think spotlight is too much. But yeah, Deitch is a pretty pragmatic signing. It's not that he's incapable of building for the long term. He's just used to getting the best out of a limited budget. I mean, at Burnley, who do you remember was a huge signing? Never really, right? But he took Burnley almost to a, what was he? They were in the Europa League at one point.
They
I'm not
finished
wrong.
seventh. He took him to
Yeah,
Europe. I was like, how
yeah,
does he not already have a statue there?
yeah.
Like, and people will laugh. I'm like, dude, Burnley's never sniffed Europe. Forget
Mm,
qualify for it. I'm
yeah.
like, this man deserves a statue, and what he got was a sack. He didn't even get the opportunity to finish the job, and
Mm,
the eventuality of what anyway happened, which is y'all went down.
mm,
It turned out to be so. If I was him, I would be really salty about it. But I mean, he's ready to move on, so that's great. I think he's going to
yeah.
come back. And think about it, yeah, he has a better set of players. Why? What
Hmm.
is there to say he won't do better? I
Yeah.
mean, like, I think it's
Hmm.
very fair to say that he. I don't. No, wait. Let me be very clear. I don't think it's going to start with Arsenal.
No, I
Just so
don't
we are
think so.
very
I
clear.
think
Don't think it's going to
this
start with
was the
us. They
worst
might have a
game
good
he could have
performance,
started.
but they're still going to
Yeah.
lose. But
And I say that Deitch, listen, Deitch really doesn't have to beat the Cities and the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Liverpools to stop relegation. I mean, getting a point here would be huge. Getting a win will be absolutely insane. But I think he's gonna go for a draw if he can nick it. How Deitch will probably avoid relegation is beating the other relegation teams as well as teams just above them, and probably nicking an improbable win from a mid-table team here and there, aka Chelsea or Liverpool. So it's he's going to be strategic about it. He's not going to have any weird ambitions that I know how he can probably think I can stop Arsenal, but I don't think he's going to come and approach this game by I can beat Arsenal. Of course, it'll be difficult for us because he, like I said, I think his focus is going to be figuring out his best 11 and who plays where and who plays well. Whether he goes to the 4-4-2, he's very renowned for. He has Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a big man. He has Damari Gray, who is a pacey striker. Dwight McNeil, he's very comfortable, as well as James Tarkowski. So um, I just think, I
I
just
mean,
think,
he's 3 points away from 14th place
yeah, yeah.
as it stands. Some of those teams are definitely going to lose this week
Oh yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I just think that it's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be the Arsenal games and the Chelsea's is going to play. It's going to be these Southamptons and the Leeds that he's going to try and win. The games that Everton should be winning under Lampard, but he's going to try and win those. And that's pretty much all about it. So, tough game for us in the sense that we have to beat a Everton side, which is going to be probably trying to stop us rather than win the game and nick a goal from a Damari Gray counter. And all
Thank
I
you,
just
Ajit.
think is,
Thank you.
thanks,
And
Ajit,
it's
man.
not Jack, it's Nathan. Jack is commenting in the chats, but thank you. Thank you anyway. I am
And
reading the chats, Ajit. I'm just a little slow. I'm trying to
yeah, it's the
apologies. Yeah.
conversation era, Ajit. Stay. So I just think we can win it. It's just he's just gonna make us work for it. And I just hope there are two outcomes I'm hoping for. One, we get the win, obviously, but I think we also avoid injuries if possible, because Deitch and his, there is a prejudice that Deitch will play proper British Brexit football, kick the players, don't let them get comfortable on the ball, get stuck in, as they say it.
Yeah.
So as long as we avoid injuries and get the W, it's all good for me.
So what is your prediction? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I think. Mm, I think we'll win 2-0. I think if we get the second we get the first goal, the floodgates will open. Then it's all about relentless pressure. But when we get that first goal is going to be a huge factor as well. If we get it in the first half itself, no chance for Everton to come back. But the later the game goes on, we're going to get more desperate, and Deitch can unleash Demari Gray on us, and Demari Gray scored an absolute blinder against City, if you remember, a slip and then a long range shot. So I just think wrap up the game early in the first half and just cruise through the game, try to not get injured, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what are you saying? A 2-0?
A 2-0, yeah, a 2-0 win.
Yeah.
A
Well,
comfortable 2-0, I'd say.
someone don't pay attention to. Please, kindly nobody clip this for future references.
Yeah.
But I think Arsenal are going to win 4-0.
Us.
Sorry.
Nice.
I'm not.
That's
I'm not.
good.
I'm not. Don't worry. You won't get any banter from me on Twitter if you don't. I just don't think.
Hmm.
Listen, whatever Sean Dyche does to them, there is no way their confidence is just going to be regained because Ginger
Hmm.
Beard with a scruffy voice comes and says, "You're all aren't as crap as it looks. Don't worry," because
Yeah,
technically they are crap at the moment.
they are crap.
They
They're
are
absolute shit.
averaging. They are one of very few teams who are averaging less than a point a game right now at the
Oof.
20th game of the season. So
Hey
I
man,
think
but
it's
it's still
safe to
half
say
a
that they're
season,
definitely crap at the moment. I think it's safe to say that.
yeah. Well, it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay.
I
For
think I
them,
think for sure I think 3 or 4 nil, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd say Saka's gonna. Oh my god.
Saka's gonna destroy them, I
As an
think.
England fan, no, I don't know if I should be happy or should not be happy. This is the problem when you have Arsenal members in the
Mm,
England squad. You don't know if you should be like I was sad when Lampard
yeah.
got sacked because I'm an England fan. At the end of the day,
Okay.
I go to that point where I go, oh, that
Mm.
sucks. Like eventually at some point of time. And
Yeah.
like Saka, like he's tearing up trees, but Southgate's
Mm.
I can't say the word apparently now due to
Yeah.
YouTube, but he's one
Mm.
of those. So
Mm.
I think Saka's going to get on the board. I think
Yeah.
Odegaard's going to get on the board, and I definitely think Nketiah is going to get on the board, one way or the
Mhm.
other, goal or assist. For me, it's going
Okay.
to be a easy 3-0, easy.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's enough of a quick turnaround
Mm.
for Everton to do anything. Also, they lost to Everton. That
Yeah.
debilitates them. The player who was
Mm.
supposed to go to them scores against them. That there's no
Mm.
way that's going to help their confidence
Mm.
either. So,
Mm.
Daksh, are you in Dublin? Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
sir. I'm in
yes.
Dublin right now.
Yeah.
You want to move to the
Ajit
United game?
saying BN, yes, sorry, I was
Yeah.
just reading. Ajit,
Yeah. No
BN
problem.
fans, very difficult for us to win at Goodison Park, to be honest. Home supporters can cause trouble with the momentum. Ajit, the home supporters are busy trying to yell at Yere Mina, and Anthony Gordon is
Yeah.
busy trying to laugh past quickly so he doesn't get caught in the with the crowd.
I
So
get. I
they
get
have their
Ajit's
own
point.
problems.
I get
Yeah.
Ajit's point in the sense that there will be sort of a fresh enthusiasm. Okay, new manager, what's he going to do? But I think we have the potential to deflate it within the first 10 minutes. We start really, really quick, man. And I swear, if we get a goal in the first 10 minutes, that Everton crowd will be on their players' back. Everton will lose confidence. And then I think your prediction for 3-4 nil could come true. But I think we will nick a goal in the first half and another one in the second. And then it's just going to be cruise control.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mm.
moving on to the United game, I mean, we're taking on Crystal Palace. I'll be honest with you, yeah. Crystal Palace,
Mm.
it's going to sound really salty now, but there is no way Crystal Palace deserved a draw in that game, yeah. And I mean, like, whatever. If people want to call me salty, I'll take it on the chin, man. But
Mm.
I mean, I'm just looking at the statistics here. We'll get into that, but just
What a
to bring
beautiful
everyone
free
up.
kick, though, man. What a beautiful
I
free
mean
kick.
that, but yeah, no, absolutely. Let me be a little more clear.
Yeah.
The moment we scored a goal
Mm.
was the moment, and as it goes back to the fact that we don't have squad depth. It's as
Mm.
simple as that.
True.
you could clearly tell we were in cruise control,
Yeah.
and we were literally a couple of minutes away from winning the
Mm,
game.
yeah.
Michael Olise decides to go, oh, look at me. Let's practice my James Ward-Prowse, David Beckham, stand there, look serious kind of
Oh
shit.
yeah.
And then decides
Yeah.
to score some crazy goal. David De Gea wish he had longer hands, but I don't think it would make any difference whatsoever. And I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I am salty because everyone was like, that was, we were 11 for 11.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were, I believe, no, sorry, that's not right. But we were 9 for 9. Yeah, we
Hmm.
were 9 for 9, going 10 for 10.
Hmm.
Few minutes are left from 10 straight. Michael
Yeah.
Ollie say, even he doesn't celebrate. He's like, man, we
Oh, he
played
just walk. He
crap.
just turns
Like
around
even
and just
he,
like
but even
walking.
he knew, right? Like even he knew. He's like, we escaped this game. Like he's like, everyone's like jumping on him. He's like, dude, we
Hmm.
played crap. And I
Hmm.
respect that because he knows, we had nothing for this team. They came to
Hmm.
Sellers Park. We beat them last time around at the end of the season. This time they're on fumes. They just don't
Yeah.
care about how we are playing. We got this goal,
Imagine if
and
they
he's
get
like,
another draw and score another free kick, though, Nathan. Imagine if that happens this weekend.
you
Imagine if it's
might, you
only
might be, you might
again.
be very entertained. You might be very entertained by my watch along then because I'll have the same look I had the first time where I was like this.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't make this up, man. This
Can't
is
really
why we
make it
like
up.
football, man.
It
This is why
wasn't
we
even
like
in
football.
regular free kick range, man. But you know what? Like Jack is saying, it's at Old Trafford. United's got a handle on this, to be honest, man. And you're like you said, um, that was probably an improbable goal, and United pretty much had it wrapped up, but they just didn't kill it. So I think it's just going to be about the fact that can you maintain that intensity for 90 minutes, and that's probably going to be it, dude. I think you guys have this in the bag. I think to I would say you'll get a nice 3-1 win against
And I
Palace.
don't trust Patrick Vieira.
Oh no!
That's
Oh,
all. I don't trust Patrick Vieira at all.
I love. Oh,
Uh,
you should have seen the memes in the Arsenal groups. The second Palace drew with United. Rip United title charge 20 January 2023 to January
dude, no one thought
2023.
we were.
Nah,
This
nah,
is
nah,
why.
nah,
No,
nah,
this is
nah,
why I
nah.
don't like people, dude. This is why. This is why. No, I can't stand people. I don't know where this whole title charge thing came out of
Nahi
nowhere. I
bhai.
just I don't get it. Like from nowhere.
Hmm.
Okay,
So
we are
yeah,
in a title charge. I'm like, how are we in a title charge? Like how? Have you
best
seen our
title.
squad? How are we? Like, how are we in the titles? What are we going to get
Yeah.
Alanga on every game for 30 minutes to score, try
You
and
know
score
what?
a worldie?
Chai 32 is right. Rio said it on camera. If United win this, I think they're in for a title charge. And then even Gary
Oh,
Neville
God.
was like, when he made his predictions and put Arsenal below Man United, finishing third, and then he was asked, and he said, if Arsenal lost that game and then United beat Palace and this happened and that happened, then United won a title. So it's not like the notion is absent. It's just something which is very silently understood that maybe there's a chance that we
I
might
mean,
come second.
we were 6 points. What were we? 6 or 8 points behind Arsenal when we played them. It's like again, it goes back to the City games. Like even if City
Yeah,
beats you all, we all catch up, right? We all catch up to you. But
true.
City still has to beat you. It's like, how can we be in a title charge? City
Yeah.
has to win those games to be in a title charge. With like, even if
Yeah.
we beat you, everyone was like, oh, if we beat you, we might be in a title charge. I'm like,
I would have been
not
so pissed.
exactly.
I swear, if we had drawn that game also, I would have been really pissed because I think we played
You all
really.
played the better football. You all
Oh
played the
yeah,
better football. But I
yeah,
would have taken a draw based on the quality of goals we scored. It's not
yeah,
like we
true.
just. It's not like we just Michael Ollie said a goal.
Uh,
And where.
no, I mean that. I mean, I understand it was not a Michael Olise, but Rashford banger, of course, great goal, but a very improbable goal. But he's capable of doing that. That's
I mean,
Arsenal's
he's
style.
done that before, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly,
I mean, I
exactly.
guess, I guess it's less improbable because of the form he currently is on.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then and then
Lizard Eye, I
Alessandro
think it's a very
Martinez
smart
headed.
thing, by the way, to answer your question. Sorry, Daksh, I'll just
Yeah.
answer this question. I think it's a very smart decision for him because think of
Oh,
all
he's
the
put him
marketing you can do with it. Yeah,
really.
it's brilliant.
Wow,
I mean, if
he's
this
done
is
this.
true, I
I
think
don't
it's
know if it's
brilliant.
true. If
I
he's
mean,
done
he'll
this,
put it
it's
on
actually
t-shirts, right?
insane.
What else is he going to do? He's going to put it on t-shirts. Maybe,
Wow.
maybe a charity foundation. I can think of a couple of things where it would be smart, you know.
Huh. It's very strange. I never heard this. It's if it's true, then amazing to be honest. Because I mean, even Sue celebration hasn't been trademarked. There's so many very iconic celebrations. It'd be interesting. I don't know how much it'll hold up in IP court, but trademarking celebrations, insane. I mean, like Jack is saying, Neves did it before. You've seen Aouar
Definitely.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've seen Bentner do it. So never really know, man. To be honest,
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0.
really,
Yeah.
I think it'll be
Yeah, yeah.
3-1.
I don't trust Vieira. He's going to I don't trust him. Listen,
Is Zaha fit?
I grew up in the prime Wenger Fergie era. Anything Arsenal related players,
Yeah,
I can't go crazy, dude. I
yeah.
just can't. He'll do something. He'll do something to get the boys fired up. It's like whatever it
Perhaps.
is, you know. Yeah, so those are our calls. Before we wrap up, Daksh, should we just
Hmm.
do a little roundup of the? Football Creeks is talking about Liverpool. Dude, listen, you want to just quickly add to this? I will just line up the matches for the weekend. We'll do our picks and then we'll sign out.
Hmm.
Give us your thoughts on this. What Football
Hmm.
Creek says, Daksh. Let- What do you think
I
about it?
think I think there's a combination of things that have gone on at Liverpool. I think some ill-advised sales. I would say Mane being one of them. I think the role of Mane in this team has was probably underestimated on what he's doing. Let's be honest. The style and the
Definitely.
setup of the team is pretty similar to what it was last season. It's just that what Mane did is hardly being replicated by Diaz or whoever you put on the left wing. Second thing is this dip in Fabinho's form is so weird. He's considered one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, along with Casemiro at Madrid. And now look at him. I don't think he's a shadow of himself. Plus, you get these weird injuries. Thiago with an ear infection out for a couple of weeks. That was in the past. Now Konate got injured. He's out for 3 weeks. Who's their centre back now? Is it going to be Joe Gomez and Nat Phillips? So
First of all, it's Go Jomez. Okay,
Go Jomez, and
It's
Go
Go
Jomez and
Jomez.
Pat Phillips. But yeah, it's weird for them, man. I think they have players on form, but I think now that the real goal threat has been Salah and not, there has been attention taken away from Mane. It's just he's just become sort. It looks very one dimensional now. Like he looks like he's playing for Basel and not Liverpool. So I think a combination of things have gone wrong for Liverpool, and it's all come at the same time. I think what the problem, or what something I would blame Klopp for, and the board, of course, no doubt about it, is that they delayed the refresh. You would see that teams are in perpetual refresh mode all the time. Arteta, when he came in, since then we've gotten rid of pretty much every player except El Neni and Rob Holding and Xhaka. In the team, we've bought in new players for every position. Saka and Martinelli, of course, new sort of hail, and you could say
Yeah.
Chelsea, you've seen they've thrown the money at everything. They've refreshed in one transfer window. United as well, they're trying to move on from the players that were causing legacy issues. Everything from moving from Jesse Lingard to slowly phasing out Lindelof and
Maguire.
Maguire, right? Trying to now it'll probably focus on their strikers and the midfield. That's the phasing out. City keep changing their centre back pairing almost every year, slowly integrating new players in different positions. So teams have an idea of a refresh. I just think Liverpool carried it a little too far, and they did not refresh it appropriately. Now you can say ki maybe the owners didn't back the manager, or maybe they were achieving so much, like pretty much pushing City every year for the past 5 years,
Season.
and they thought maybe just a little push, maybe just a little push, we just need to, you know not change the whole recipe, we just need to add a little bit more seasoning to this.
Yeah,
um
before you continue, I'll
yeah.
let you expand on this because someone asked me and I've already given my answer, so I'd
Sure.
rather let
Sure.
them hear your answer.
Hmm.
Someone mentioned to me, LJ, who's a Liverpool fan,
Sure.
a subscriber of mine.
Yeah.
He's asked me, what do you think if we go in all for Jude Bellingham? Will it change Liverpool's fortunes? I'll just sum it up because I've already told everyone here.
Hmm.
I told them no because they have way more outgoings than incomings. So
Hmm.
what do you think?
I don't think there's ever going to be a team in which one player makes a sort of a huge transformation. Look, at the end of the day, as undeniable Jude Bellingham's talent is, he is human. He will have wear and tear. He will need to sit out games. You can't put all your eggs in the Jude Bellingham basket. And what more, even if he stays fit throughout the season, all it'll take is a team double or triple teaming him to just close that circuit off. So it's not only Jude Bellingham. They need a lot more. Who does Jude Bellingham play off of? Maybe who's Jude Bellingham's partner? Maybe who Jude Bellingham releases with his quality. So it's going to be along one of those things. One player, even if it's Enzo for 120 or a Jude for 150 or a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Gabriel Jesus, it's not that. Listen, on paper, I'll say this to everyone who says, how are Arsenal so good? Arsenal, if you look the team on paper, it's not impressive. I mean, there are so many players better than Xhaka. There are players comparable to Partey. Odegaard, yes, he's on a very good purple patch. Saka, comparable players in the league to Saka. Same with Eddie, same with Martinelli, whatever. We are not absolutely world beater players.
I don't know if there's a lot of players you can compare with Saka. I would say Saka and maybe Partey stand out because
Mm,
I mean Rodri is Rodri, but Rodri also plays in Man City. Then there's
yeah,
Casemiro,
but
but I
but
mean
the
apart
yeah.
from those four
Mhm.
teams, I don't really think there is any DM that can fit in any of those teams above at the moment.
Yeah, I think they have unique roles and characteristics. But the reason I brought that up is that individually, if you look at these players, they might not individually be responsible. It's just that Arsenal as a collective play so well. Xhaka is not the most impressive centre midfielder, left-sided centre midfielder you'll find, but his role in this team, when to run, when to cover, when to release somebody, he plays off the other guys so well. It just elevates the entire team. So that's what I'm saying. It's if it is, I mean, if there is a team which is just reliant on one player to come and change everything, then I mean, to be honest, I haven't ever seen that much of a transformative impact. Um, I just think that for Arsenal, we just play as a team really well. Everybody knows what to expect, what the strengths and the weaknesses are, and I think that's what Liverpool also have to go through. Of course, I'm nobody to lecture Liverpool. Arsenal's process
No,
is
but I mean,
inspired from
I
what
mean, it's
Liverpool
just
did.
sense, right? What you're saying is just sense, though, right? Like it's like everyone's 30, 35. They got Milner playing
Yeah,
still. They got
yeah.
Harvey Elliott and Oxley Chamberlain playing left wing when even in their prime they would never do that. It's like
Mm,
they definitely have either aging players or players not in the right position or injuries.
true.
There's no way one
Yeah,
signing is going to level them out. It's
yeah.
just not possible.
Mm,
Now, could they perform a miracle under Klopp? Sure. I mean,
yeah.
but I don't think that would justify Jude Bellingham making up for the deficit. I think it
True.
would just be luck and coaching.
True.
But the deficit eventually will be the deficit again, once again, for sure.
Mm, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's what we have to say about that, guys. We will end off by just doing our picks for the week
Mm,
because we did speak about Arsenal and United, and as I like to say, I'm a neutral channel. Although people just have fun with that, it's a bit of a lie. But I do a lot of
mhm.
watch-alongs, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
but I mean, of course, I would always do a United watch-along first. But yeah,
Yeah.
so Chelsea Fulham, let's go. I mean, it's a bloodbath today, isn't it?
No, I
At
won't be
Stamford Bridge.
look. These guys have just come in. They don't know each other. Enzo speaks Spanish, Mudrik speaks Ukrainian and a little bit English. Jao Felix is in there. It's just different cultures, different playing styles. Many of these guys were the men of their teams,
Of
so
that
to
team.
speak, the kingpins, the linchpins. So it's gonna be a little adjustments of them trying not to do everything by themselves, temper themselves, maybe help each other out a little bit. I won't be surprised if there's only one or two additions from this January transfer window to this team, and Potter really goes for the tried and trusted people who he can coach, who he can give instructions to. So maybe a Mudrik's gonna be on. I think Chukwuemeka might play. You never really know. I think it's still going to be Kai Havertz in the front line. So, will it be a bloodbath? Probably you would see cameos from the January transfers. I would still say a 2-0 to Chelsea, but nothing like a 5 or 6-0. I don't expect that.
Yeah, I'd second that, man. 2-0 to 2-0 to Chelsea as well. Everton Arsenal we have obviously done.
Yep.
United Palace we have obviously done.
Yeah.
Okay, Wolves Liverpool. Let's hear it. What do you think?
Is it at Anfield?
They snuck past at the
Oh, yeah.
Molineux in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
did. Then they snuck past in the replay. They really did.
I think
This
it's going
third
to
time
be a.
going to be a charm. It's at the Molineux. It's at the Molineux,
Oh,
I
it's at
think.
Molin. Then it's 2-1 Wolves. I
Molineux.
would say 2-1 Wolves. I
2-1
think
Wolves.
Salah
I'd
will.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. No,
I,
sorry.
no, bro.
Continue.
I just think Salah will score, but I think Wolves have enough to just get a Podence goal or a Ruben Neves goal as well in there. So I think 2-1 to Wolves. I don't think it's just Liverpool's downfall. It's tasty, but it's also kind of baffling at the same time. Enzo is playing well. Good for him then. I hope he really does well. I'm very intrigued to see how they play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. For sure. I'd go with the Wolves win too. I'll say 1-0.
Hmm.
I say I think Neves always is
Hmm.
the foil for these kind of tight games. Brighton and Bournemouth. I'm very sorry to tell you, Brighton's going to absolutely bludgeon them 3-0.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bludgeoning.
3 or 4 nil,
Brighton,
100%.
Brighton. I just want them to go above Spurs, no, so we can just banter
Ah.
Spurs a little more, just a little more, on top of that. Newcastle versus West Ham. Ooh,
I think Newcastle's got them in the back, but Newcastle have the ability to just snatch a draw from a victory. I won't be surprised if
yeah.
it goes 1-1. The most the teams it's a team which draws a lot, so I would say 1-1 is possible as well. West Ham, they have a decent player and could just bang in a goal at any time.
I think that's fair. I think Newcastle's going to get it 2-0, but
Fair enough.
I completely agree with Daksh. It's very possible it's going to be a draw.
Mhm.
Nottingham Forest versus Leeds, or should we call it the USA men's national team?
Uh, hmm. I want to, man. Both these
That
teams are
Willie
so
Ganon, that
bipolar,
Willie
man.
Gnonto, he's a bit of a firecracker, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Willie Gnonto.
I think it'll be a nil all draw. These teams are bipolar. They might come
That's
close, either of them, but I think it's going to be a nil all draw. Mm. I usually don't predict a nil all, but yeah, I think.
nil all. That's fair enough, man. That Aston Villa Leeds game, the opening of last week's season. Oh my god, they were just going hammer and tongs at each other, dude.
Oof.
It was such a brutal game to watch. I was like, this is why can't
Mhm.
people play like this anymore? Like, why is no one playing like this anymore? Tottenham Hotspur versus Man City. Come on, now let's shit on them on our way out, shall we?
Mate,
Let's do it.
I said this on Ankit Bhai's stream also. Never ever trust Tottenham. Ever. Never bet on Tottenham. If a Tottenham fan tells you it's raining outside, check the weather yourself. All right. Never trust Tottenham. They're their own worst enemy. But jokes aside, I think City's got this in the bag. Not for the fact that they are City and they're playing Tottenham, but also the fact that Conte is not going to be available. He's recovering from a gallbladder surgery. So, Tottenham half Spurs, as they're famously called, usually only perform when Conte gives them a bollocking in the dressing room and they show up in the second half. I think it's going to be domination from City. I won't be surprised if you see like a 3-0 or a 4-0 from City this time.
Do you think they might go with a formation change because the assistant coach is taking over? Maybe a
No, no,
change in
no, no.
people.
He's
Maybe a
he's
change
con-
in people. By the way, guys, whoever doesn't know, I'm sure Dutch obviously knows.
Mm.
They have sent both their right backs on loan and kept Emerson. Emerson's the worst right back in the league.
They got Poro now though, right? They've not sold. They've not sent.
No, they
Who's
have
that?
sent them on loan. Ren, I
Docket
believe, Ren or Rhyme for Jet Spence
Ren,
and Atletico Madrid for Doherty.
and that's a full sale. That's a mutual termination and then a full sale. So it's not. He's
Okay.
gone from Tottenham.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
mean, what I'm trying to say is they kept the worst right back out of the three. That's the shocking part. They've actually kept the worst
I
right
don't
back
know,
out of the
man. Must be something that Conte is smoking to keep Emerson Royal. But listen, as long as he's there, I'm very happy that Tottenham are beatable.
three. Yeah,
Imagine signing
agree.
Pedro Porro and still starting Emerson. Oh, but yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's going
I
to be
think
great.
it's gonna be a
So 3-0, you
three
said?
or four. Yeah, 100% 3-0 or 4-0.
I second that. I'll go 3-0 as well. Then we have some midweek games. Manchester United versus Leeds. Would you like to venture a guess? And
Ooh.
West Ham versus Chelsea. Would you like to
Oh,
venture a
nice.
guess? Those are.
Winnable for United. United have a string of winnable games, I'd say. Another
How
2
dare
nil.
you? Don't jinx us.
Oh
Don't
no,
do
they're
that.
gonna win. They're gonna
I'm,
win, and
I'm
they're
going to
gonna
go
be in the title
1-0.
race
I'm going to
again.
go 1-0 for all the games now. For for,
No,
for
no,
Feb.
they're gonna
1-0.
be in the title race soon before you and I realize it. United are gonna get back on top, and United, just winnable games all the time. Rashford's gonna ball out, and
I mean, to
Marcel
be fair,
Sabitzer.
we played the top six before anyone did. To be fair, the
Yes,
starting half of the season, we actually played the top six faster
yeah,
than
yeah,
anyone.
yeah, yeah.
So
But now I think you also have a run of winnable games. So I think United's gonna be fine. I think two nil, 2-0. I think 3-0, man. Again, we barely escaped against Leeds, but I think United have the firepower to actually obliterate Leeds. So 3-0 United against Leeds.
I don't know what kind of black magic jinx is going on here, but
No,
I'm,
no,
I'm not
no,
going to
no.
fall
There
for it.
will be
I'm going to
title
go
contenders.
2-0. I'm going to go 2-0. That's it. I'm not falling for whatever this is. West Ham versus Chelsea, London derby at the London Stadium. Any picks? It's the last midweek game,
Or
I
is
believe.
I think it'll be 1-0 West Ham.
Nah,
I
man,
know,
I
I
can't see
know.
it. I can't see it right now. I'd say
Actually,
2-0 to
Probably
Chelsea.
I'll probably revise my prediction seeing how Chelsea plays today, because everyone looks
Yeah, I
excited
mean,
with the cameo.
that seems fair. That seems fair. I think we're
Yeah,
all excited to see what happens today.
yeah.
Okay, that being said, we have done what we have done.
Mhm.
A big thank you to you, Daksh. Everyone,
No problem.
please big up Daksh. Do follow him. He's his of course his name is in the title. His
Mhm.
channel name. Do follow him on Twitter at Global
Mm.
Waffles. I
Yep.
remember the name because it's not a channel name, so you could always remember that. At Global Waffles, very entertaining tweet there. And thank you, Daksh, once again. Hopefully, we do this more. If you're free,
Yeah,
we
of
can
course.
do. I was thinking of doing a Premier League preview every week. If you're
Mhm.
interested, that's something you want to do to add some content to the channel. It would be I would be happy to do it, or on yours or on mine. Do let me know. I know you're very busy, so do let me know
Yeah, it's just the
when you're
life,
free.
dude. It's just the fucking life
I
right
know,
now.
I know, I get it, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you have a little free time here and there, we can do a little
Mhm.
drop out preview. Happy to
Sure,
do it.
sure, sure.
Thank you
And
so
if
much
nothing
for
else,
joining the
it really
channel.
doesn't matter. We can always record a video for a preview. Don't have to go always
Absolutely,
like.
yeah. Whatever you like, man. Like
Yeah.
like I said,
Mhm.
thank you for coming.
No
I
problem.
think I'll be on your stream for a bit now.
Oh, cool.
Head over there, guys. The stream's going to start soon. I think
In 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah.
So go there. He's great at giving advice. Not necessarily. We don't always talk about football,
Yeah.
but definitely, if you have football questions, he'll happily
Hmm.
answer it as well. He's very open and he's very honest, and it's
Yeah.
quite refreshing for someone who is quite an honest person himself. He says a lot of things that gets him in trouble. That's why he likes to stick to football. He's he's I think Daksh is way better at balancing the real life out better than me.
Yeah.
So thank you once again, guys. Thank you.
No
Do
problem.
like,
No
share, and
problem.
subscribe to both our channels. Do hit the
Yeah.
bell notification on both our channels. And once again, take care, guys. Good night, and
Good
we're
night.
signing off.